Shooter ready?
Ready.
Stand by. I hope I make your edit.
Hi, Mom. I'm on TV.
I had a video go kind of viral once.
Oh, yeah?
Not like super viral. It was like 20 or like 30,000 views or something on Facebook.
That's a lot.
I was in the car and I was like, you know, you always said it would be a phase, Mom. I'm 28 years old and it's not a phase anymore.
What was the
like,
song?
It's like, what's the worst thing I could say? Things
Oh, yeah.
if I stay so
The Used?
long.
Yeah. Was that The Used? Yeah.
Yep.
What's the worst thing that I can say?
Yep, exactly. I was like, you always said it'd be a phase, but I'm 28 years old, it's not a phase anymore. You're still keeping them. I mean, for the most part, you're keeping them in the alpha zone.
I did some dry fire before I came here today, too.
And you ate some Wheaties?
No, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express once.
You got
Oh, yeah.
2 out right here.
Yep.
2 penalties.
Oh, and I got one here, too. Yeah, I was shooting low on these.
3 penalties. Just remember, if you ain't first or last, that's a trademark, Ricky Bobby. Are you ready?
Ready?
Stand by.
Oh, yeah.
You said, oh yeah, like you were auditioning for a Kool-Aid commercial.
Oh, yeah. Stage planning, perfect. Counting, not so great. I don't know, that one just seemed like it needed 3.
All right, so we got 2 penalties here.
What is it? What is if you shoot too many over there? Is that a penalty too?
No, I'm just going off, like, your extras are there, I'm going off of what you didn't hit.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
All right.
so we got, and I'm not going to count them as mics, they're just going to be deltas.
Okay. Week 5. Math is hard, and the KUNA is actually pretty great. Let's talk about all that, how the runs went, how I felt they went, what went right, and what obviously went wrong real soon. But first, let's talk about the PCC, which is different every week. This week's PCC is the Springfield KUNA. The KUNA is really nice because it has AR style controls, so the safety is where you'd think it would be. The magazine release, the bolt catch bolt release is where you'd think it would be. The main difference is that this one has a non-reciprocating charging handle that is foldable. That can be good as far as it being out of the way when you're running it, but if you do have to do any type of reloads, I would probably prefer just a stubby fixed non-foldable charging handle. Also, it takes proprietary mags, which from what I understand are hard to find, and this gun itself is really hard to find. You know, it's the KUNA. Everybody wants the KUNA these days. This is the first PCC for 2 things in this series. One is that it's the first PCC that's roller delayed, and it's the first PCC that I did not have an optic on. So the irons, you can either flip them down and then they're like really low profile irons, or you can flip them up and they're higher profile. Didn't have any issues. The compensator, I think, did a really good job too. Just either that or it being roller delayed made for a really soft shooting experience, and I was able to shoot it relatively fast. I say all that to say, I really like the KUNA. The big things that I didn't love about it were the brace, one, it being a blade shape, so that was kind of uncomfortable, and also just it being a metal rod for where you'd put your cheek. Not the most comfortable thing for me in the shoulder or cheek area, but it worked for competition, and it would work just in general if you needed to. But those are pretty much my thoughts on the KUNA. Good PCC, can't find them. Can't find magazines, and there's also the fact that they're made by Springfield, and probably made in Croatia, I'm guessing. I mean, is there anything that Springfield makes that's actually made in America anymore? Let me know in the comment section below. Now let's talk about round one, and then we'll get into the round two. So first for round one, I think it started really well, just ended a little bit less ideal than I would have wanted it to. Round one starts with the PCC. Again, the KUNA shot great, no complaints there. Shooting irons was kind of interesting, doing that for the first time in a while and just shooting them for the first time in competition, as I always do with all these PCCs. I'm just grabbing a gun from the rental rack and going to work. The only other thing that I'm using is my Glock 45. Just a little sneak peek for you before we get to the full-length video on that, which hopefully will be soon. ADD break. I ordered a comp for this, and I was assured by the company that I ordered it from that it was the older version of said comp. They had a technician confirm it at the warehouse. I got it and it was not the correct version. So I'm going to have to send that back, deal with all that stuff, and then have to wait longer for hopefully them to get me the right one, or have to go to another company to get the correct one. We'll see how all that goes, but just want to let you guys know I'm not stalling. I'm doing everything I can to get you that video on the Glock 45 build. This part's out of my hands. All right, now back to the run. So the first part went really well. PCC shot great. I felt like I was shooting it pretty fast. Clicked on that safety, ran to the barrel, dumped it, and I knew from my stage planning that I wanted to grab my handgun and start on the right-hand side because I'm going left to right. So shot all those as I was moving, and then I decided to get to the barricade by running and kind of turning my body this way. It'll be opposite for you, but pointing down range with the handgun so I could still see where I'm going when I'm running forward. And I also didn't want to backpedal because I was, more likely that you're going to trip if you're running backwards. So did that, got to the barricade, and then because I was coming again left to right, I started on the right-hand side with the right target of those two targets, and I got 2 deltas on that one because that's the one that I was going really fast on, just coming off of a run. Then transitioned to the target on the left, shot that, and for whatever reason, either it was my hold was not the correct hold for that distance, or I was just like driving the gun too much and I was shooting low, or I was just aiming low. I'm not even really sure what happened, but I was shooting low on those targets. I think I was so focused on speed for this run that I wasn't really making sure that I was seeing the dot in the exact spot I wanted every time before pulling that trigger, and I did shoot low for 3 of those 6 shots. And in this case, those were deltas, and a delta counts for plus 5 seconds each time you get one. So a total of 3 deltas equated to a total of an additional 15 seconds to my run, as you saw, which obviously if I would have just slowed down a little bit, I would have shaved that 15 seconds off by maybe gaining like a second or 2. So really need to make sure that on my next runs that I am balancing that speed and that accuracy. I think I've been doing a really good job, like not really getting any deltas at all, except for like maybe 1 in the course of the whole thing as I've started ramping up that speed. I think I've reached the point where I figured out this is the spot where I need to slow down on at least certain areas of runs so that I can make sure I maintain that accuracy. So it was a good learning moment for me. Now let's move on to, wow, the second run. Let's talk about that train wreck. Where round 1 started off really well and ended kind of poorly, round 2 started off really poorly and ended really well. Let's talk about that. So for whatever reason, when you're trying to think of all this stuff in your head in competition, it looks really easy when you're watching someone do it in a video, but there's actually a lot going on in your head as you're competing. You're trying to make sure you're getting all your hits. You're trying to make sure your accuracy is good. You're trying to make sure your speed is good. You're trying to make sure you're pushing that gas and pushing that brake when you need to, navigating the course correctly and doing everything efficiently. And one of those things is counting to make sure you're shooting the right amount of rounds into the target. That's the one thing as I was ramping up on the other stuff that for some reason I completely forgot. I just did what I did for the last run, which was shoot 3 each target. And it wasn't until the instructor said 2, you can hear him yell 2. I said, oh yeah. And then I said, okay, let me do the quick math. What do I have left in this magazine? I'll have 1 for each of these last 2 targets. So I went 1, 1. Oh yeah. Continue my run, safety on, dumped it, and then shot 2 on each target for the rest of them. But yeah, that was a that was a big mistake, and it cost me deltas for the 2 PCC targets where I only shot 1 of each. They didn't count the extra rounds as anything negative or any type of, what's the word I'm looking for, penalties. But I did get deltas because I didn't shoot the right rounds at the right targets. I didn't get any misses, but I didn't count correctly, so I got penalized for that. So there was that. Well, that's gonna be it for week 5 of the 2-gun league, which is pistol caliber carbine and handgun. If you wanna see the next PCC that I try, be sure to subscribe, like, share, do all that fun stuff. Really appreciate it. If you haven't already checked out the playlist of the 2-gun league that has all the previous PCCs that I've tried, feel free to check that out. And you can also see my journey of me starting, never doing the competition like this, and just learning things as I go, picking up things, hopefully getting faster and better, but I guess we'll see. To be continued on that. Apparently I forgot how to count all of a sudden. I don't know why that happened. Either way, as always, thanks for watching, stay free, and God bless. Oh, also leave your prayer requests in the comment section below. This is a channel that takes prayer requests. I would love to pray for you, so you can either do that in the comment section, you can click on the link in the description where it has all of our socials, discount codes, links, and also our Discord where you can join for free, and we can pray for you in a more private setting there if you'd like. Everybody needs prayer, so don't be shy. Drop those in the comments or click that link. All right, bye.
What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with
Oh yeah.
I think that we've all had enough.
Thinking I'm